So we are grading each team's offseason, starting with the Hawks. They got an A because they got many good players, including stealing Bogdanovich. Next, we have the Celtics, who have a B plus because they got Tristan Thompson and Aaron Naismith, and also they got Jeff Teague. I'm gonna try to make this video as fast as possible. The Bulls, they're getting B minus, getting Garrett Temple, but drafting Patrick Williams, which might be questionable in the future. Next, with the Cavs, who get also a B minus, close to a C because they just basically did nothing. But they did get JaVale McGee. So next, we have the Hornets, who get a B minus, who very good by drafting LaMelo Ball, but also Gordon Hayward got a too big contract, but it might not be as bad as we think. Next, we have the Lakers, who get an A plus. They somehow made their team even better than last year, and now they're the best team. I mean, they have the best chance to win the championship. I still think Clippers or Nets will win, but Lakers have a very good chance. Maybe they will win. I might think that they will win. Next, we have the Heat, who got an A for keeping Bam, and then also getting some good players, Avery Bradley and Mo Harkless, to replace the players that left. Next, we have the Pelicans. They get an A too, A minus, A actually, because they finessed to get a lot of picks from the Drew Holiday trade, and they also got Steven Adams. Next, we have the Knicks, who get a B minus, drafting Obi Toppin, but letting many players go, and they just got like role players like Nerlens Noel and Alec Burks. Next, we have the Brooklyn Nets, who get a C plus. They did nothing basically. Jeff Green is reuniting with KD at least. That's basically the only thing they did. And Landry Shamet. Actually, they're a B minus. Next, we have the Clippers, who get an A minus. They lost Montrezl Harrell, JaMychal Green, but they got back Luke Kennard for Landry Shamet, which is a very good trade, and also replacing Montrezl with Serge Ibaka. Next, we have the Thunder, who get an A minus too because they traded Chris Paul, but they traded a lot of their veterans for picks. They're rebuilding, so it's good for them. Warriors get a B because they let Kai Bowman go, but they also got Kelly Oubre, James Wiseman, Nico Mannion, and Brad Wanamaker, Kent Bazemore. But the loss of Klay Thompson is sad. Next, we have the Raptors, who get a B minus because they lost many players that are good, including Marcus Gasol and Serge Ibaka, and they replaced them with Alex Len and Aaron Baines. Next, we have the Sixers, who get a because they did very good trades, trading the big Al Horford contract, trading Josh Richardson for a shooter, and Danny Green was in the Al Horford trade for a shooter, and also getting a solid veteran in Dwight Howard. Daryl Moore is actually good. Next, we have the Kings, who pretty much did nothing basically except get Hassan Whiteside. So I'll give them basically a B minus B. I mean, they drafted Tyrese Halliburton, which is a steal. Next, we have the Rockets, who get actually a B because they got Christian Wood and DeMarcus Cousins. We still don't know if Russell Westbrook and James Harden are leaving. If they do not leave, this team is actually going to be good. Next, we have the Spurs, who get an average rate of C plus. They let Britton Forbes walk, but they drafted Devin Vassell. Next, we have the Mavericks, who get a B plus. They did pretty good in offseason, trading for Josh Richardson, who's a better defender than Seth Curry, and still is a decent shooter. But that's basically all they did. They also got Wesley Iwundu. Next, we have the Bucks, who got a B because they got finesse very hard for the Drew Holiday trade. But they did get, and the Bogdanovich trade did not go through. But they did get Torrey Craig, DJ Augustine, Bobby Portis, and a few other veterans. So yeah, it's pretty good. Next, we have the Grizzlies, who did not really do anything. So I'll make it a B. They didn't have a draft pick. Next, we have the Detroit Pistons. I give Memphis a C. Pistons will get a B minus because they just randomly gave away bad contracts to people like Mason Plumlee, Jeremy Grant, and yeah, traded Luka Nard for Sadiq Bey. Next, we have the Pacers, who didn't really do anything but lost on Gordon Hayward, so I'll give an average C. Next, we have the Trailblazers, who didn't really do anything. I mean, they did do a lot of stuff. I mean, they got Rocco, they got Harry Giles, and they got Derrick Jones Jr. I give them an A because Rocco is a very good player for a reason. Minnesota Timberwolves get a A because they drafted Anthony Edwards. They also got Ricky Rubio and traded picks, and they got some other good rookies. Next, we have Washington Wizards, who get a B because they got Danny Avdia and also got some veterans including Raul Neto, and Robin Lopez. Next, we have the Utah Jazz. We have them getting back Derek Favors, so I give them a B. Also, giving Donovan Mitchell the bag of ton of money. Next, we have Phoenix Suns, who gets an A. Even though they lost Aaron Baines, they still got back Dario Saric, and they got Jay Crowder, Chris Paul. Orlando Magic get a C+. They didn't really do anything, but they did get Cole Anthony. So yeah. Finally, we have the Nuggets, who get a B because they got RJ Hampton from a trade. They re-signed Bob, and they also got decent players like JaMychal Green and Facundo Campazzo. So it's a B-. Thank you guys for watching. We're out.